Lots of fast-moving news today. So the Army has just sent a ton of sergeants to recruiter school with only a 1-week notice that they were getting sent. They're doing this because they're down so low in numbers and they need new recruits. So they're putting a ton of new recruiters in stations coming around the holiday season. Now, not only did they promote all these people to become recruiters, they waived the body measurement standards and the fitness standards for these people. Plus, when they get out of school, they're going to be given the rank of staff sergeant, so they're getting fast-tracked. Now, they've also been told this is kind of the last-ditch effort to avoid a draft. So if we don't get a bunch of people volunteering for the Army very, very soon, the next step is going to be them taking your children from your house. Shit is getting crazy.
Shalom, Yasharallah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and to the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to hopefully like Akim that are out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp. Coming at you with an update of these military recruitment woes that Babylon is facing. And as we have seen that this has been a constant thing these last couple of years, and I would say off the top of my head at least the last 4 years ever since Biden has been in office, the amount of patriotism, of gung-ho, I want to go fight for my country spirit that has been always in the younger generations coming out of high school and going into college has always been there. But these Gen Z babies, these GMO crack babies, they don't have that spirit, and this is something that has been going on for a while. This is Council on Foreign Relations, and I just went to Google and looked up some of the recruitment fails that they had for this year. This was December 21st, this article. Lord willing, I can pull a couple more. I just wanted to grab a couple excerpts from this article. Specifically, this is the bureaucratic fix to the military recruitment crisis, because they always got something to say about how they want to go about it, and as you can see in the video that I showed you first, that they waived the health standards. So now they don't care if you're overweight and you didn't have the experience to be at that rank. They're going to put you there anyway because of the necessity and desperate measures that they have going on right now with trying to build up their military, knowing that there's going to be a big military conflict in the near future. This is declining recruitment numbers are vexing nearly all branches of the U.S. military. I think the only other one that did not have a problem this year was the Marines. And all the other branches had problems meeting their quotas. This is continuing. Removing a medical bottleneck could dramatically streamline recruiting for applicants and personnel. The U.S. Armed Forces are facing an unprecedented recruitment crisis. The inability of the military to fill its ranks is an obvious national security issue that every American should care about. There is divergence on the cited reason for declining recruitment numbers, varying from propensity to serve, access to interested audiences, the temperament of Generation Z, and physical and mental fitness to serve. Because Gen Z, I believe there was another article that I saw that said about 70% of Gen Z is either on drugs, overweight, has a mental disability, on some sort of pharmaceutical drug that allows them to not be able to serve. So a lot of these things are coming into effect of this fucking confusion type Babylonian society that they've raised of these beta male fucking effeminate men. This is continuing. All of these are worthy discussion topics, but exponentially difficult to resolve. That's right, because they created a bunch of crybaby type society. This is 2nd Esdras 16 and 33. The virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms, and the virgins being in this case the young women, and going after other men their age, their peers. The women shall mourn having no husbands, because even the women that already got husbands aren't going to have husbands anymore because the majority of the people and men in this society are going to get drafted. And some brothers in the truth may even get that draft letter, but we know how that's going to go. That's going to turn into the trial of our faith in the prison. Be ye faithful 10 days, and I will give you the crown of life. Be faithful unto death, roughly paraphrasing, because there is going to be a lot of brothers that get thrown into those camps and tried for, could be some of the reason alone of not going along with the draft. So these are real scenarios that we got to tell you about, to warn you that it could happen to you, somebody or I speak to myself first and foremost because I'm a young brother. I'm 27 years old, so I'm about that age for the first couple waves if the draft does go out. I think it's 18 to 26. But in Ukraine, when the war went down over there, they were recruiting motherfuckers 65 years old and under. So it doesn't matter in the time of war if you're 40, 50, 60 years old. They need bodies. Continuing, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers, because hey, when a woman has to do things around the house that's maybe burdensome, like changing a tire, doing the oil, shoveling the snow, fixing the roof, there's a leak, fixing the plumbing, something like that a man can do, they're going to mourn having no helpers because there's going to be no man around the house to do those things. This is 34. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, because that is specifically talking about the violence that's going to increase around the world, that is going to cause a lot of bodies to come together, a lot of militaries to come together, a lot of nations to start throwing their young men into the meat grinder just to get destroyed in these bankster wars in the new world, all in the effort to get the new world order up and running. And their husband shall perish of famine. So there's going to be no work, there's going to be no food, perish of famine. There's going to be, people don't realize that when war is going on, the supply chain gets messed up to the point where things don't move around normally. And if you don't know how to survive in whatever area that you're living at off the land, you're going to die too. If the Lord, first and foremost, is not with you, if Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai slates you to die by that famine, that's exactly what's going to happen to you, your loved ones, everyone you know, if they don't serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and receive his mercy. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 35. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because we can take these things, look at these things, digest these things, and tell you the prophecies that are going to happen. The prophets are out there on the streets week in and week out, going on the videos, showing you scriptures, showing you up-to-date news articles about what's going on right now, and telling you what's about to go down, and these people still do not take heed to the warning. They're always just looking at them as that crazy guy on the side of the street posting bullshit on a conspiracy page website type thing, But like scriptures say, through the foolishness of preaching, this is how we're going to get it done, man. And this is how the ancient prophets of old have always got it done. So, I'm going to go to Google, see if I can read back into some of these other articles. But as you can see, I just typed in military recruitment woes. Military recruitment woes. Here we go. Let's just read what Google says. It says, they noted the percentage of American youths who qualify for military service has dropped. The COVID-19 pandemic limited the ability of recruiters to interact with potential recruits. The U.S. economy is booming with low unemployment, and the number of adult influencers with experience in military continues to decline, probably is what it's going to say. But they say the COVID, C19, but that's because a lot of motherfuckers were smart enough to not go and get jabbed up like the military was making it mandatory for you to do, to stay in the military or to enlist in the military during that time. It wasn't because of, they couldn't reach the population that they wanted to, like this fucking thing says. We all know that's bullshit. The U.S. economy is booming with low unemployment, so there's a lot of people that are hiring and paying people to stay home to have good jobs. So why am I going to join the military? Because a lot of the military is run by a lot of Jake is in the military because there's no other options. They don't think to go into construction and a business, to go pay for school, so they're always looking to, have to run to the fucking white man and join his military just to get a green card, for the Issacharites. But, Jake is always the one that shows their foot in the door first to join the military, out of necessity. And the number of adult influencers with experience, blah, blah, blah. So This is big bonuses, relaxed policies, new slogan. None of it saved the military from, this is military.com. None of it saved the military from recruiting crisis in 2023 because they were throwing $50,000 bonuses at people for just hiring, just to come on. Different branches. Look at this. Look, this is the Air Force loosening prior tattoo and drug testing policies, and the Navy rolling out record high financial incentives up to $140,000. But those efforts ultimately did not push the services over their line of their recruitment goals. So they're throwing mad money, loosening even drug policies. So that's probably talking about weed and stuff like that because they know that a lot of this generation is smoking weed, and that's probably a big thing of why they couldn't get the numbers up you know. But either way, the point of this is just showing you that the recruitment level is low, and that ultimately a draft is coming, and that it's not just one article saying this. This is from military.com, Council of Foreign Relations, like the first one I read, PBS, the Heritage Foundation. So these are things that are very credible sources. These are even from the military recruiting websites themselves, you know, and it's the same story over and over again. Every branch of the U.S. military is struggling to meet its 2020 recruiting. So this is something, like I said, it's been going on ever since Biden came into office because the Democratic elected politicians, don't really want to push that for these people as like a patriotism, America first type of how do you say, environment. But anyway, the point is made. That draft is coming, and Yahweh Ratazah, this lesson was edifying to the elect. Stay safe. Shalom.